I am so excited to introduce you to this guest. She is a powerhouse, and you're going to see that and be inspired by her. My guest is Stormy Bradley. She is a wife, a mother, a business owner, community advocate, and patriot. She is the president of Bulldog Steel and the vice president of Metal Solutions. Both businesses are in the steel construction space. She has two rambunctious little boys that are going into second and first grade, and she is on 4 boards within her community and makes giving back a daily priority. Stormy's goals are to run the most efficient construction companies in Texas, to constantly pour into her community, and to improve on leadership and financial wellness and health throughout her city, country, and state. Let's dive in with Stormy. You are amazing. You're like a powerhouse woman. When I met you, I was like, she does what? And what? I know we have your bio, but I want to hear from you. Tell us a little bit more about what you do.
I run some steel businesses.
Man-dominated world.
Yes, I am a mom of 2 little boys, second grader and a first grader. And I am in the running for Senate here in Texas. Today is my second week being launched for that.
Wow.
And then I've been married to my husband. October will be 11 years that we've been married, and we have been dating for, my gosh, I think like 14 years. We've been together for 14 years. It doesn't seem like that long, but it's weird how fast that happens.
You have a successful companies, great family. What made you decide I am going to go run and be a Texas state senator?
I have been at the peak of my business, or I thought I was at the peak of my business growth last year. 2019 was an amazing year for us. COVID did have a pretty heavy hit, but this was pre-COVID when I decided to take the plunge to run for state senate. And so the time I was setting my goals and I was like, nothing's really exciting me. I mean, I'm hitting everything. My profit margins are great. I'm making more money. My team is solid. Like, I don't want to be a lazy bum. I need to come up with something, but I don't have anything, right? And my business coach was like, let's take it back. What did you want to be when you grew up? I'm like, ha ha ha. One time I said I was going to be the governor of Texas, and that was what I planned on at 13. And I ended up like doing debate in high school, being a government and pre-law major in college. And then I met my husband and everything changed. But that was my goal till I was probably 18. So 5 years, right? And motherhood and life and businesses get in the way, right? And then when your businesses are on cruise control, you're like, I feel like you understand this more than most. Being a mom, you almost certainly lose yourself for a few years because you're so consumed with motherhood and cooking dinner and being the best wife and making sure the house is clean and making sure your kids have their hair combed and they have shoes on their feet and they're not disgustingly dirty. I mean, that's a full-time job, and you really lose yourself and your hobbies. I was listening to another one of your podcasts earlier about like the number one marriage and entrepreneurship, like conflict or something like that.
Yes.
And so I was listening to that, and you were talking like, you become roommates. And it's not that my husband and I were roommates, but the roommate stigma goes with you're just going through the motions, and motherhood is that way. Right. And I guess like 2 years ago, I kind of woke up to that realization of, wow, who am I? What have I been doing this whole time? My kids are starting school, kindergarten, pre-K. Like, what did I used to do before I had kids? I mean, I asked myself that question for a week straight, and I still didn't have the answer because you can't remember. And so fast forward to last year, I had been kind of working through like, what does my life look like when I don't have to nurture and baby and raise this business forever? What does my life look like? Well, that looks like giving back to my community. I feel like locally I do that well. I'm on my school board. We actually last weekend had a car show and raised $16,000 for a trade school scholarship. I'm very passionate about vocational and trade programs. And so we helped fund that and helped run it with the other car show companies or groups in town. And then we have a big Thanksgiving feast and some other, like, locally, I've got that community aspect down. People know my business name, people know my husband and I. But how do I give back and make a bigger impact? And so that is run for state politics. I care deeply about education. I care deeply about trade schools. I care deeply about small businesses. This is the life I live every day. And so where can I put my passion to work? And so that's what spawned the state Senate.
I love that because I didn't know the whole backstory that there was actually stuff like leading up to this that you did at 13, I think you said.
Mhm.
Like, I love how God brings that all back full circle and we start to see the pattern through our life and the experiences we had that built what he really wants for us. And now he's revealing the next part of that plan because you built successful businesses, small businesses, right? Into amazing ones. So without that experience and without that experience of the mom and the wife and the community, like you needed all those stepping stones. But one thing you said too that really struck me was you kind of woke up and thought, who am I? I don't even know anymore. You got lost in wearing all the hats that moms wear, right? Because we wear so many different hats. But how long of a process was that for you? And was it just that week or how did that look? Like for me, it was 6 weeks of crying in the backyard, hysterical.
Pretty much. I would say it was a couple of months. Almost, I feel like I was going through like a little bit of a breakdown. I was kind of hostile to my husband. I was like, you need to watch these kids. I need to go stay somewhere. I need to figure this out. Like at that time, I had like woken up and I was like, I've been doing this all wrong. Like my husband's not on my team. He's not helping me. He's like, it's all me. You know, you
Yes.
get it, feelings like that. And he's like, whatever you need. I am lost because we are as mothers and wives and business owners. I don't know how many of your people that follow you and listen to your podcast are business owners, but I've been a business owner since I was 19 years old, you know? And so it is not the easiest thing. You know, I was a business owner, then I was a wife, then I was a mother. So I've always had that responsibility. And when I flipped my switch for the couple of months, I was like playing golf every day. I just made somebody else do my job. And if it didn't get done, sorry, I'll do it at 8 o'clock at night. Like I had like all my cares were gone.
Right.
And then I had another waking up moment where I was like, I can't just abandon everything. I have to find a way to find this balance to give me the me that I need, but also lead my business well, educate my children well, raise them upright, and give my husband one-on-one time that he needs and vacations and trips and, you know, the things that you need. There had to have been a balance, right? And then I found this, God was looking out for me this day. Every single thing in your life, you can relay back to God. And if you can't, you just need to think a little harder because, you know, my childhood was intense, but I got a lot of grit now. And then I met my husband, turned me a 180, you know, and here I am running businesses. And now I'm back on the same path that I started on when I met my husband and when I was 13 years old. It's just so funny how God knew I needed all these detours to prep me for this new challenge. So I quit my life for a few months, played golf every day. I wasn't reckless or anything, but I just was like, I used to play golf. Why don't I play golf anymore? I'm going to play golf every day. So I was doing that. Then I returned the switch on, and then I'm like panicked because what the heck am I doing? I can't not work and I can't not feed my kids and all the things. So God knew I needed help, and was laying in bed crying to Tyler, telling him I don't know what I was doing so wrong. I need some help. I need some structure. And this planner pops up, the Full Focus Planner. This was 2017, right? Or 2017 or 18. And I am like, this planner's going to save my life. Holy crap, it's $35. It's only a 3-month planner. That's like $10 a month. I better make it work for me. So I get the planner the first day. I'm watching the videos. I'm trying to get my life together. I mean, I think I talk about this all the time to my friends, but I sometimes get overwhelmed with, like, I call them the shivers, like cold chills. And that's, I think, ultimately when God's like, you're moving in, this is where I'm wanting you. And so I just got them just now, right? I just got them just now. So I'm like going through this planner, setting my goals, looking at my life domains, marital, financial, vocational, avocational, all the things. And I'm like, wow, I was really off balance. And so I get rebalanced, and I have been that way. I've maintained that since literally the very first week of having that planner. And I feel that ultimately saved my life, my kids' life, my husband's life, my marriage, my businesses, because who knows where we would have been if I would have given up for a long time,
Yeah, I'm going to interrupt you for a second because you took those few months, but then you came back out. And I love a couple things. One, I want to mention, I get the shivers too. And it's a lot when I'm talking to people or when I'm counseling or working on something. When I get them, I know that's when God is present. And I always thought I was strange. I've never heard anybody else say that. So thank you for making me
feel it really happens. It really happens.
Validated. Okay, but here's what I think too about this planner. And I'm going to tell you, I love the Full Focus Planner myself, but the first year of it, it was like my version of hell. I'm just going to be honest. I rebelled against it so much. And here's why. I did not believe that there was truly a way I could have it all. The marriage, the kids, the business, myself, my dreams. Like, I felt like I had to have one or the other, that I could not be good at all those things at the same time. Mm-hmm. So what would you say to someone else that thinks that way? Because I think a lot of women think that way, that we can't have it all.
You are highly mistaken. We call that, you and I and a couple others that we are associated with, we call that the double win. And it's easy to think that it's a fallacy, but people live it every day. There's hundreds of people that you and I know that live that life every day.
Every day.
And seasons of life happen. My father-in-law passed away. Someone that's not physically related, but we called her an aunt, passed away like 3 weeks later. There's just a lot of things happening that if I didn't have the balance, I would be, flipping my switch off again. But having that ability, number one, you have to have closeness to God. Number two, you have to be real with yourself. If you have those two things, you can find the balance. It is completely doable. You have to set hard limits. I leave work every day at 3:00. Today is an exception. It's 2:30 here. But my mother-in-law is watching my kids because I have a school board meeting tonight and a political event. So my mother-in-law is watching my children. So I have a little bit of a me day, right? But you set hard limits. I get up at a certain time every day. I go to bed at a certain time every day. I also know when to ask for help. That's another challenge mothers have. I don't know if God designed us that way, or it is the world and the society that's giving us this, I can juggle everything and I am an expert at everything that I do. But the facts are, you're good at some things and you're not good at others. The things that you're not good at, get some help.
Absolutely. My husband says I have no domestic skills.
I love it.
I got help.
That's right.
But I hear from women so often that they don't feel like they can. But if you go back, and I do think this is somewhat society too, is if you go back to the olden days, that saying of it takes a village, like they literally had a village, right? That cared for your kids. There was aunties and uncles and sisters and siblings and grandma. They were all living together in this one little community that it helps. Like I would swear if I did not have really good neighbors when my kids were toddlers, I would have not made it. Like I would not have, because we don't have family where we live. But I had really good neighbors and made friends with that. So I do think that it's a little bit of culture of you can't ask for help. And I feel spoiled when I do.
I blame Pinterest. I'm just kidding.
Yes. You want the Pinterest life. Well, I do too, but I'm going to delegate that look to someone else. Can you create this for me? Because I don't have time. But it's choosing where I spend my time. Well, Stormy, it has been a pleasure. And thank you so much for taking time out of your business schedule to record with me, because I think you're going to inspire a lot of people and a lot of women, high-powered, ambitious women, to understand that they don't have to choose. They can truly have it all. And I want to wish you luck on your Senate race.